once knew a nigga whose real name was William. His primary concern was making $1 million, being the illest hustler that the world ever seen. He used to fuck movie stars and sniff coke in his dreams. A corrupted young mind at the age of 13. Nigga never had a father and his mom was a fiend. She put the pipe down, but for every year she was sober, her son's heart simultaneously grew colder. He started hanging out, selling bags in the projects, checking the young chicks looking for hit and run prospects. He was fascinated by material objects, but he understood money never brought respect. He built a reputation cause he could hustle and steal, but got locked once and didn't hesitate to squeal. So criminals he chilled with didn't think he was real. You see, me and niggas like this have never been equal. I don't project my insecurities on other people. He fiended for props like addicts with pipes and needles, and so he felt he had to prove to everyone he was evil. A feeble-minded young man with infinite potential, the product of a ghetto-bred capitalistic mental. Coincidentally dropped out of school to sell weed, dancing with the devil, smoked until his eyes would bleed. But he was sick of selling trees and gave in to his greed. Everyone trying to be trife never faced the consequences. You probably only did a month for minor offenses. Ask a nigga doing life if he had another chance. But then again, there's always the wicked that knew in advance. Dance forever with the devil on a cold cell block. But that's what happens when you rape, murder, and sell rock. Devils used to be gods, angels that fell from the top. There's no diversity because we're burning in the melting pot. So Billy started robbing niggas, anything he could do to get his respect back in the eyes of his crew. Starting fights over little shit up on the block. Stepped up to selling mothers and brothers to crack rock. Working overtime, making money for the crack spot. Hit the jackpot and wanted to move up to cocaine, fulfilling the Scarface fantasy stuck in his brain. Tired of the block niggas treating him the same. He wanted to be major like the cutthroats and the thugs, but when he tried to step to him, niggas showed him no love. They told him any motherfucking coward can sell drugs. Any bitch nigga with a gun can bust slugs. Any nigga with a red shirt can front like a blood. Even Puffy smoked the motherfucker up in the club. But only a real thug can stab someone till they die. Standing in front of them, staring straight into their eyes, Billy realized that these men were well guarded, and they wanted to test him before business started. Suggested raping a bitch to prove he was cold-hearted. So now he had a choice between going back to his life or making money with made men. Up in the sight, his dreams about cars and ice made him agree a hardcore nigga is all he ever wanted to be. And so he met them Friday night at 2:45. Everyone trying to be trife never faced the consequences. You probably only did a month for minor offenses. Ask a nigga doing life if he had another chance. But then again, there's always the wicked that knew in advance. Dance forever with the devil on a cold cell block. But that's what happens when you rape, murder, and sell rock. Devils used to be gods, angels that fell from the top. There's no diversity because we're burning in the melting pot. They drove around the project slow while it was raining, smoking blunts, drinking and joking for entertainment, until they saw a woman on the street walking alone, 3 in the morning, coming back from work on her way home. And so they quietly got out the car and followed her. Walking through the projects, the darkness swallowed her. They wrapped her shirt around their head and knocked her onto the floor. This is it, kid, now you got your chance to be raw. So Billy yoked her up and grabbed the chick by the hair and dragged her into a lobby that had nobody there. She struggled hard, but they forced her to go up the stairs. They got to the roof and then held her down on the ground, screaming, "Shut the fuck up and stop moving around." The shirt covered her face, but she screamed and clawed. So Billy stomped on the bitch till he broke in her jaw. Them dirty bastards knew exactly what they were doing. They kicked her until they cracked her ribs and she stopped moving. Blood leaking through the cloth, she cried silently. And then they all proceeded to rape her violently. Billy was made to go first, but each of them took a turn, ripping her up and choking her until her throat burned. Her broken jaw mumbled for God, but they weren't concerned. When they were done and she was lying bloody, broken and bruised, one of them niggas pulled out a brand new 22. They told him that she was a witness for what she'd gone through, and if he killed her, he was guaranteed a spot in the crew. He thought about it for a minute, she was practically dead, and so he leaned over and put the gun right to her head.
I'm falling and I can't turn back. I'm falling and I can't turn back.
Right before he pulled the trigger and ended her life, he thought about the cocaine with the platinum and ice, and he felt strong standing along with his new brothers. Cocked the gat to her head and pulled back the shirt cover, but what he saw made him start to cringe and stutter, cause he was staring into the eyes of his own mother. She looked back at him and cried cause he had forsaken her. She cried cried more painfully, and when they were raping her, his whole world stopped. He couldn't even contemplate. His corruption had successfully changed his fate, and he remembered how his mom used to come home late, working hard for nothing, cause now what was he worth? He turned away from the woman that had once given him birth, and crying out to the sky cause he was lonely and scared, but only the devil responded cause God wasn't there. And right then he knew what it was to be empty and cold, and so he jumped off the roof and died with no soul. They say death takes you to a better place, but I doubt it. After that they killed his mother and never spoke about it. And listen, cause the story that I'm telling is true, cause I was there with Billy Jacobs and I raped his mom too. And now the devil follows me everywhere that I go. In fact, I'm sure he's standing among one of you at my shows, in every street cipher listening to Little Thug's flow. He could be standing right next to you and you wouldn't know. The devil grows inside the hearts of the selfish and wicked. White, brown, yellow and black color is not restricted. You have a self-destructive destiny when you're inflicted, and you'll be one of God's children that fell from the top. There's no diversity because we're burning in the melting pot. So when the devil wants to dance with you, you better say never, because a dance with the devil might last you forever.
Gotta get on the grind, giving it up to the 9-9. If you slip, you can chalk it, fall in the nighttime. Gotta get mine, ain't taking no shot on the lounge and top of the phone. Call up my homie, tape at home, polishing this Mac 10 chrome. Gotta lick, we can hit so quarter click, cause once again it's on. To the zone with a flip of bird, my wit to the curb, so I swerve and roll loud. To pick up the rest of my goods, let's straight on the mission for calling up more now. Joe, when I hit the bump, gonna ride like every day with 4 more thugs. I'ma roll with and stroll with till we end up in the grave and lay. Put it in the drop. We spotted the place and quickly rolled up. Gotta make that money, man. Hopped out of the ride, see flesh been showed up. Fucking a kaboom, so drop it on down with them into the room. Them doom, and I'm shaking the dice and hitting in naturals on them fools, and I'm looking lovely. Yeah, better not think it's funny. I'm coming up quicker than 9 quarts, cause flesh be loving his money.
I'm giving up love to the hustlers, all them fake that busters, making that money, stand on your feet. And you better believe, gotta have that cheese for the green leaves, never catch me sleep. Steady on the grind, get mine, stand down from a crime, and I hit up the 9-9. Gotta keep that bankroll, making me say it, pouring these nickels and dime. Hit up a stick up a lick up that 211. Gotta get what's mine, been failing. Been kicking up dust, I'm a trailing, failing 187. That's how it is, and I got to have it in the night. What? Mission to check a meal, and still be real, thugging on the clock, like creeping on the come up. Won't sleep till I'm done up, gotta blaze my gun up. Hunt up another plot and scheme, gotta make some break the soldiers nut up. What up? Gotta get that business on, even though the Buddha run this done me feeling lovely. But I'm just in it for the love of the money.
Standing on the corner straight slanging rocks. Oh man, here comes a crooked ass cop. So I dash, I ducks, and I hide behind a tree, making sure the popos don't see me. Now my fat sack of rocks, hell yeah, I stuffed them. Police on my drawers, I had to pause, and yeah, I still don't trust them. Now my game is tight, tight as hell is my game. Easy E, CPT or Eric Wright, it's all the same. Now those might trip on how I stacks my grips. I got to have it, yeah, for the love of this stupid sucker. Every time, follow me down the 9-9, and you will find all of me kind. Check out the rips, the nails, drop down, run them up out of me hood ribs. Like when I'm making me grip, when I'm click, follow with ruthless. The thug I pay me, put them in mud, buck them in pump up for the love of money. With nothing to lose, rolling with truths, rolling with thugs, it's going down. Steady pumping 3 rounds, running with a McBang, bang, gonna make that money, man. It's still the same, steady running things wild. And follow me now, while I take you up into the dark side of me run. See, for the W done, for the bud I run.
Gotta get up on my brain, up in the stuck game. So people sneak up at me crawling off on the mission back in the days. Crazy was building with thugs that wanted to get paid. But it's in my son, little thugs still rich, step up on the mission for money. You give up the gas, now drop it down fast, cause me and my partner was hungry. And if it was stolen, you might get your blow to the temple and bone road dogging. Just make this lick it simple and run to hell with Sandra. Me fellow with bang and double my rivers, remember me billion now. I'm on me dig ya, so deep in the ditching you with it, cause tricky was slipping, I'll get you and rip ya, so work the clown. Steady robbing and stealing, making a killing, get a good deal, needed a million, making me money with the thugs be chillin'. hustling for the money these fools be sending. Cleveland, where you find me thug getting off in the crazy scullers. And when I stick lick 'em, remember I get 'em up for the love of money.
Stoke and get food, walking jet move. Stoke and get food, walking jet move. Stoke and get food, walking jet move.
Fuck life, niggas. That's when we ride. That's when we ride on these bitches. That's when we ride. That's when we ride on these bitches. That's when we ride on bitches. You fucking faggot snitches. So don't you try, we packing nines, we leave you dead in bitches. That's when we ride on bitches. You fucking faggot snitches. So don't you try, we packing nines, we leave you dead in bitches. Don't get us wrong, we only made this song to make you feel hard when you hit the bomb. When the 40's up and then the 40's gone, the lick shots kill cops to a hip-hop song. So pull them toasters out them holsters, pull that shirt right off your shoulders, pull that nine, this is how you hold her, pull that trigger, race you soldier. Rock out on the block, tick-tock, you cannot stop. Hip-hop like when we drop top so high. Johnny 3's been drinking whiskey, trigger finger feeling frisky. When you shoot it's so damn risky, dead in a ditch but I hope you miss me. That's when we ride on bitches, you fucking faggot snitches. So don't you try, we packing nines, we leave you dead in bitches. That's when we ride on bitches, you fucking faggot snitches. So don't you try, we packing nines, we leave you dead in bitches. Got you faggots in a chokehold, and I think I like you on my nine showed on. And how many shots till you hit that flow? I bet four. Yo, Charlie, you loco. Faux show. How many people dipping in my photo? I see 3. Bitch, no. There's 5 in the back, and your girl's on my lap. She's a down low pro. Oh, faux show. What the fuck did I just say? I don't ask any questions, I just spray. So hey, what I may say may be risque. Juice made me this way. That's why you don't want no beef, cause me versus you's like beat the geek. So we can talk right here or in the street, but my gun talks first cause he loves to speak. That's when we ride on bitches, you fucking faggot snitches. So don't you try, we packing nines, we leave you dead in bitches. That's when we ride on bitches, you fucking faggot snitches. So don't you try, we packing nines, we leave you dead in bitches. When I come to Ville with the shiny rims, playing these bitches like a violin. I got more freaks than a carnival. Pop the trunk, there's my arsenal. I got bass gas straps, so let's start a war. I eat you alive like a carnivore. My guns need nicotine, they smoke more than me. I was my boy Charles Field, go to war with me. Ooh-wee. Yo, King Kong swinging from a tree, dropping on these haters so they bleed. I'm coming at you bitches full speed. Funny man, lay off the weed. People get jealous from skating on Dayton's, and that's like Freddy Cougar hating on Jason. That's got the funny man losing his patience, leave you dead in the ditch on Highland and Franklin. That's when we ride on bitches, you fucking faggot snitches. So don't you try, we packing nines, we leave you dead in bitches. What? Say what the fuck? See, shoot us up. Now what the fuck? Point blank. Who's down to ride? Who's down to ride? Undead pop shots, we're down to die. Who's down to die? Who's down to die? Undead pop shots, we're bound to ride. Black hat sideways, white pulled LA flat on your back, leave you smoke like an ashtray. Race split, face strip, nod if you're listening. Shot to the cross, make your day like a Christian. Pop, pop, your heart just stop, stop. When I just cock my gun, cause I shoot for fun. That's how the West is won. I sell an ounce and then I sell 2 more. Then I come to collect with the pistol fofo. There's some truth to that about the weed or the gat. You may never know, just leave it at. That's when we ride. That's when we ride on these bitches. That's when we ride. That's when we